Our third method for creating compositional unity is continuation. Continuation is essentially when the artist has created a composition that allows your eye to naturally flow from one element to the next, such that you engage with the majority of the picture plane. So in this lino cut by Sybil Andrews, we can see the way in which there's a kind of naturally linked line, an arc of the birds that gets us to start in the upper left, move across, down, and back, and then we'll connect up with other forms. So we've got multiple paths by which we can engage with the majority of the picture plane. She obviously is also using repetition, and you could say that the way in which she's organized the forms to create that path is a form of proximity. But we're not going to quibble over terminology. We're just going to know that one way that you can create unity is to gracefully guide your viewer through the majority of the picture plane. Most of the time, artists are using some combination of all of these. This image has repetition. We've got repetition of line, we've got repetition of shape, we've got repetition of color. Interestingly, it's a highly unified composition, even though it has complementary colors, because we have blue and the skin tone is ultimately a really low intensity orange. We can still have that contrast of color because there are enough other elements to unify the composition. We've also got a really great gestalt in this image. Oh my God, it's a severed hand and a decapitated head and part of a body just floating in the water. Of course, that's ridiculous. We already gestalted the rest of the body in there. We assumed that everything was connected up, and we didn't freak out that she had been dismembered. We freaked out because Brad is a jerk. And then we've got some really nice continuation created by a kind of rounded off, lumpy triangle. We read the text across, and then we flow with the waves and back up. Also, Brad, stop it. Finally, we want to talk about grids. A grid is another unifying mechanism that can provide a lot of structure to your composition, even a really chaotic one that has 37,000 different televisions. Art people who can never agree on anything will argue about whether the grid is a form of repetition or a kind of proximity where we're organizing the elements, or a form of continuation as we read the registers of an image. Either way, a grid is a system that will give you a lot of structure